Katherine Hartley Short, the beloved daughter of Martin Short, has passed away at the age of 42. Her loss has left her family devastated and has deeply saddened those who knew her both personally and professionally. Now, the Short family has shared an important update regarding her final farewell. In a carefully written statement released through their representative, the family confirmed that Katherine's funeral will be held privately. The service will be attended only by close family members and a small circle of trusted friends. They explained that this decision reflects Katherine's lifelong preference for privacy and the family's wish to grieve away from public attention. No specific date or location has been shared with the public. The family has respectfully asked for space and understanding during this painful time. They emphasized that the ceremony will focus on remembrance, love, and quiet reflection rather than media presence or public visibility. According to the statement, the funeral will be intimate and deeply personal. It will center on celebrating Katherine's character, her compassion, and the life she lived. The family described the upcoming gathering as a moment to share memories, express gratitude, and support one another as they say goodbye. Katherine was the eldest of 3 children adopted by Martin Short and his late wife, Nancy Dolman. Nancy passed away in 2010 after a long battle with cancer. That loss was a profound turning point for the family, and Martin Short has spoken in the past about how difficult it was to continue forward while raising their children. Friends close to the family say that Katherine carried a quiet strength. She was thoughtful, intelligent, and deeply empathetic. While her father became known around the world for making people laugh, Katherine chose a life dedicated to helping others heal. She pursued her education in psychology and social work, eventually becoming a licensed clinical social worker. Her professional life was focused on supporting individuals and families dealing with emotional challenges. She worked privately and within community programs, offering guidance, patience, and care to those in need. Those who worked with her describe her as calm, sincere, and fully present with her clients. She did not seek praise or recognition. Instead, she believed that real impact happens quietly through consistency and compassion. The funeral announcement made clear that these qualities will be at the center of the service. The family intends to honor her not with grand speeches or public tributes, but with personal reflections and shared stories. It will be a moment of unity for those closest to her. Since news of her passing became public, messages of sympathy have poured in. Fans of Martin Short have expressed their condolences, acknowledging that behind the public laughter of a legendary performer stands a father experiencing unimaginable grief. Several of Martin Short's scheduled appearances have reportedly been postponed. Sources close to the family say he is fully focused on supporting his children and navigating this private period of mourning. Those who know him say family has always been his priority. The Short family's statement also included gratitude. They thanked everyone who has reached out with kind words and prayers. They noted that the support has brought comfort during an otherwise overwhelming time. However, they also gently reminded the public that this moment belongs to the family. They requested continued privacy and respect, particularly surrounding the funeral arrangements. There will be no public access to the ceremony, no media coverage, and no live stream. The decision to keep the funeral private reflects how Katherine lived her life. She was not someone who sought public attention. Even when she occasionally appeared at events alongside her father, she remained reserved and grounded. Friends describe her as someone who valued meaningful conversation over recognition. She believed in listening more than speaking. She cared deeply about emotional well-being and often encouraged others to prioritize their mental health. Though no public memorial has been announced, those close to the family suggest that the best way to honor Katherine's memory is through acts of kindness and compassion. Living with empathy, they say, would reflect her values more than any public ceremony could. Mental health professionals have also spoken gently about the importance of supporting one another during times of loss. Without discussing private details, many have emphasized that grief affects everyone differently. It requires patience, space, and understanding. For Martin Short, this marks another painful chapter in a life that has included both immense public success and deep personal sorrow. In previous interviews, he has described grief as something that never fully disappears, but instead becomes part of who you are. those words now carry even greater weight. The funeral service, according to the family's message, will include personal readings, shared memories, and quiet moments of reflection. It will not be a public event. It will be a farewell centered on love. As preparations continue, the Short family remains united. Close friends say they are leaning on each other for strength. In times like these, privacy becomes not just a preference but a necessity. Public figures often live much of their lives in front of cameras, but moments like this remind everyone that grief is deeply human. It does not recognize fame or success. It is simply loss. Katherine Hartley Short will be remembered by her family as a daughter, a sister, and a compassionate professional. She will be remembered by her colleagues as a dedicated social worker, and she will be remembered by those who knew her best as someone who chose service over spotlight. At this time, there are no additional updates regarding future memorials. If the family chooses to share more information, it will likely come through official representatives. Until then, the focus remains on a private funeral, a quiet goodbye, a family coming together to honor a life that mattered deeply to them. In their closing words, the family asked for one simple thing: respect. They ask that Katherine's memory be honored with kindness. They ask for space to grieve, and they thank everyone who has shown compassion during this painful moment. As the Short family prepares for this private farewell, the world stands at a respectful distance, remembering Katherine Hartley Short not for headlines, but for heart.